Hi everybody, Sanbanani. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV. Listen, you guys, it's windy outside, and I'm sorry about that. So, I'm my microphone here in the office. So, if my sound is not good, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, you guys, so I did a video this morning where I was talking about the latest episode of Isencane Lengane, and I was talking about the sad episode that we watched this past Sunday of Isencane Lengane, and I was talking about the possibilities of Thando leaving the marriage and how unlikely it is that anybody is going to help her to leave the marriage, and why it is unlikely that anybody is going to help her, how she is the one that would likely help herself. But, just go watch that video, you guys, just to understand what I was talking about. But you guys, what is coming up in the comment section, which for me is strange, is people saying, but why are we worried? Because Thando chose to get married. Why are we feeling sad about it? Because Thando chose to get married. Why khethela masukushada? So why thina sikhathazekile? Why are we feeling sad about it? Njengobani ongazikhethela ukushada, guys? Like, everyone that gets married chooses to get married, except for people that go into those forced marriages. All of us that are married, we chose to get married. But we chose to get married with hopes zokuthi we were in love and we had found partners that we were going to build our dream life with. So this is khethela ukushada. But we were not getting into marriages that we thought were going to be miserable. We did not think because our partners were going to ill-treat us. We did not think because our partners were going to be abusive and cheat on us and treat us and their families and our families horribly. We did not think that. Nobody gets into marriage thinking that is what is going to happen. So there's nothing that is different with Thando. The difference is that Thando was young. And I always say that adults around Thando, I still to this day say I never understood why everybody around Thando did not stop that wedding. And she has said herself that she wouldn't have allowed people to stop their wedding. I feel like if I was Thando's mom, that wedding would not have happened. In fact, I would not have taken ilobola from abantu bakaDlamula. I would have put my foot down. That thing would not have happened if I was Thando's parent. Even Lungi, she's turning 21 this year. Nobody's going to come and pay ilobola for Lungi. Like, what? Umuntu engisamvusa ekuseni ngithi clean endlini. Like, what? Like, at 16, what would make me even think Tulung is ready for marriage? That is my daughter, for those who don't know. Like, duh. So what I don't understand is people saying, but she chose to get married. But we all choose to get married. When you get married, you choose to get married. But the things that happen in marriage are things that you don't choose. The things that happen that are negative and are abusive with marriage, those are the things that you don't choose. Of course you choose to get married. Of course you choose your husband. Of course you choose, in a way, you choose the family that you get married to, because when you choose the husband, you choose their family. But the things that happen when you are in marriage now, those are the things that you don't choose. I don't think that if Thando foresaw what was going to happen once she was married, she would have chosen to get married. If she saw how abusive Secela was going to be, she would have chosen to get married. How miserable she was going to be, how disrespected she was going to be, how disgusting Secela was going to be, that she was going to get married. Those are the things that she didn't see, she didn't know about before she got married. And none of us see those things. Even people that are adults that even people that get married in their 40s, people that get married in their 30s, people that get married in their 50s, they don't see those things when they get married. Everybody gets married thinking this is my fairy tale, this is my dream husband. We are going to, I don't know, walk off to the sunset or sunrise. Is it the sunset or sunrise? When you are dreaming, this is my Superman. Everybody thinks that. So I don't understand when people say, well, she chose to get married. We can say what she is choosing to stay. And only Thando understands why she is still staying. I say that she does not have a lot of options, you guys, in terms of living. And also there is the what do there is the brainwashing when it comes to marriage. Emakhaya is not as brainwashing a corner when it comes to amabelief ukuthi mawuso ubuye emendweni. It's not as easy ukwenza a decision ukuthi ubuye emendweni. There's that element to it. We can say that she's choosing to stay. That I agree with ukuthi she's choosing to stay. But leyo ukuthi why are we feeling sorry for her because she chose to get married? But that means also even women who are being abused in their marriages, we should not feel sorry for them because they chose to get married. But what kind, guys, because there are so many women that are in relationships and marriages that chose to get into those relationships, that chose to get into those marriages. But now they are in those marriages and relationships, and now they found themselves in those situations, and those situations are abusive. And for some reason, they are stuck now, and they want to get out. And for some reason, there are all kinds of reasons why it's difficult for women to walk out, and some end up walking out. But what I'm saying is that getting into a relationship, you never get into a relationship knowing that it's going to turn out bad. Sometimes, yes, you guys, you do see the red flags and you ignore them. Sometimes you don't see them, other people see them. But when you get into a relationship, you don't get into a relationship knowing that this is going to be bad, and you still get in. You get into a relationship thinking that this is your fairy tale, this is going to turn out good, we're marrying this person, we're going to have kids, we're going to have our cute family, have 2.5 kids, have our 3.5 bedroom house, and with the fence and everything, So even Thando had those dreams, I'm sure. And for her as well to see Usiyacela like that, that's her dreams being crushed. She might say and all of that, but those are her dreams getting crushed. I'm sure she had dreams that they were going to have their kids, they were going to have. And honestly, thinking about it, they should have like a double story, triple story house now, Olundi, with a fancy and because they've been doing the Moja Love show for how long now? The money that they have been paid on Moja Love should have built them that triple story, double story house with 2, 3, 4 cars or whatever. Because they've done the show for so long, but it doesn't look like it has done that for them. So watching things fall apart like that for Thando, that is her dream crashing down as well. So it's more than just her watching her marriage break down. It's also just watching her dreams fall apart as well, because nobody gets into marriage knowing what it's going to fall apart. So it's easy for us to just watch and be like, Thando wangena azi. Nobody gets into marriage knowing ukuthi it's going to fall apart. Sibadala sibangaka nathi sasingena sitshela ukuthi sazi sibadala being grown ups sangena sitshela ukuthi my knight in shining armor, let alone umuntu ona 16, she thought kuzoba mnandi, would be holding hands and whatever, and sibe nengane sithi kube mnandi sizobe siphuma siya kuma vacations. You understand? So now it's falling apart, and she has to deal with that as well. So I don't agree with people that are saying we mustn't feel sorry for her because she wazifaka uyena nje washada. Nangithi nathi sasashada kodwa sometimes kunzima, and you're like, hey, ngangiyaphi lana, But it's still, you still have to turn on yourself and be like, okay, do I still want to stay or do I leave? You know, and Thando at some point, that's why I was saying, she's going to have to be her own hero, because people around her are not going to be that hero. Even that show, even the crew is not going to save her, because they are all about making money from her. But it does not mean, you guys, that because she's the one that decided to get married, that everything that is happening to her, she deserves. Because even other women that got into marriage, that made a choice to get married, when things get bad in their marriages, that it's their fault now, or we are not supposed to feel sorry for them, or we are not supposed to help them to get out of those situations just because they made a decision to get married. She was only 16, you know, and then she's surrounded by people that are saying Begazela. Like, you know, by the way, you guys, there is a video that she posted on TikTok where she was talking about how she is a Mabuye Mendweni now. Even though when I looked at the wall where she was taking a video, it does look like she's still got Dlamula, even though she was talking about how she's back in Kandla and she's Mabuye Mendweni now. I did pray for that to be true. But I hope that she's back in Kandla and also Umabuye Mendweni. I've never prayed so much for somebody to be Umabuye Mendweni, you know. But I felt like the wall and all of that looked like she's still Olundi. But I was wishing that whatever she was saying was Umabuye Mendweni, that she really has buoyed from Umendo, you know. Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to say. Listen, you guys, we all have made mistakes in our lives, but it's just that for Thando, the mistakes that she has made, her mistake is on national TV and we all get to watch. Don't you have an ex that you all look at and you'll be like, yay, angangagula ngekhanda phela mina ngempela. Don't you have an ex that you look at and you're like, hi guys, ang-admithwanga ngani mina vele ngoba mina ngagula ngekhanda ukuthi lo mina kushuthi mina ngangasangana la ngoba ngempela mina ngingathandana nalo muntu lo. If we are being honest, we all have that person that we like, hayi ngangahlanya ekhanda phela mina ngangathandana nalo muntu ukuthi ngangigula ngekhanda. We all have that. It's just that for Thando, we are watching it on TV, so sometimes it's hard to give her grace because all of us are feeling like she should live, and maybe for her it's not as easy of a decision. Of course, we're waiting for her to live. I believe that she's going to live, but it's just not going to be on our time, you know. But I really deeply do believe that she will live. There's no way that young girl is going to spend the rest of her life Dlamula. But it's just that it's going to take time because of the environment. Like her surroundings don't support, you know, her making that quick decision to leave. And it's, you know, also it's like if we expect her to make a quick decision to where is she going to go, and also the fact that they're doing a show, that whole thing doesn't support that as well. So yeah, I think that she will. I mean, also I saw her on TikTok. She was at Nedbank, and I was like, that's a good sign, because if she's at Nedbank, maybe she's opening her own bank account finally, which means that maybe Moja Love is going to be paying her separate from Usacela, because I suspected that Moja Love is paying them together in one bank account with Usacela, which is what makes her not have access to her own money, because it doesn't make sense for that girl to not have access to her own money, you know, having done 7. What season is this, guys, that she's doing of the show? So I saw her at Nedbank, you know, and I was like, that's good, because it means she's taking care of her own banking, you know. She might have her own you know, I saw her saying Umabuye Mendweni, and I was like, I hope that's true. I hope she has buoyed from the Mendo. So, I mean, a little bit of patience. We might see her being miserable. We might shed a tear or two watching her take her time. But I do believe that girl is not going to spend the rest of her life Dlamula. She will eventually live, but it's just not going to be, you know, on our time, you know. But in the meantime, we cannot say that we shouldn't feel sorry for her just because she chose to get married. It cannot be like that, because, we all have made mistakes. It's just that ours, it's, not on TV, otherwise we're gonna have to go check your exes. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. Like the video before we're gonna share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngithanda kakhulu.